Yo, what is going on? PartTimerZack here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the mess hall chatter from the Punishing Gray Raven devs. We're going to be going over what they've been kind of voicing and some of the different things that are coming to the game here soon, and some things that they kind of wanted to address from the feedback that they've actually gotten from the Frozen Darkness event. So this first little part is just basically talking about how they're happy to launch the first major update, and they're happy to see everybody involved with it. And a lot of people are giving feedback and stuff like that, which they're hearing and kind of trying to make adjustments as they can see in the next few weeks. So this first thing here is just going to be about the research pool. I know a lot of you guys were summoning on the wrong banners for alpha and felt that it was kind of displayed in a way that made it seem like, hey, this is the right banner. You go on it, you spend all your BC just to find out, hey, this is not the right banner. I should have been on the lower pity. But this is what they're going to essentially do for that. They went ahead and said that it is the same for CN and JP, which I definitely agree with. I do think it was structured in the same way. However, I kind of feel like a lot of people aren't really familiar with the way that Punishing Gray Raven does it. So it was super easy to get kind of misled a little bit when it comes into the banners and going from there. So from now on, they're going to be going into the next event anyway and going into the next update, giving us a little bit more of an idea of exactly what to see and what to do. So they're shifting the focus to highlighting the current floating guaranteed, aka fate research, so that players are left with no doubts as to which research options will result in which outcome. So hopefully that'll be able to clear everything up for everybody who is kind of in a spot where they felt that it wasn't highlighted enough and it wasn't kind of clear enough which one they should be jumping on. So I'm kind of glad that they've seen that and they're like, hey, let's go ahead and change it for you guys, so it makes it a little bit more easier to kind of jump into the banner that you actually want going into future units. All right, guys, so the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the actual samurai coding for alpha. A lot of people were kind of wanting this because JP got it, you know, the Taiwanese side got it, and they were just like, hey, when is it actually going to be coming to global, or if it is going to be coming to global? So they went ahead and announced, yes, it is going to be coming out, and it's going to be heading our way in this version of September. And it looks like we're going to have a Nux announcement essentially for more details. And as mentioned in the last previous dev blog, there are going to be some minor content shifting differences between versions, but we aim to offer equivalent goodies to all players in the region. So they did go ahead and lay down the thing again. We're saying, hey, we may shift content and we may speed it up. That's the second time they've kind of mentioned this. And so I'm kind of gearing up to see some more units starting to come out a little bit faster than that 3-month period. But of course, we don't definitely know for sure. However, they did say, but we're going to offer the equivalent of goodies. So I don't know if that means like sped up rates of BC or different ways of getting BC anyway to make up for that limited time that is obviously remained to be unseen. But this is the skin that they are referencing right now. And this is the one that everybody was really happy to kind of want to get essentially. And it is actually coming in September. So I'm glad that they didn't just say, hey, you know what, we know that you want it, but we can't really do anything right now. So luckily they were able to kind of say something and kind of give us an idea what we're going to be looking at when it comes to that skin. This next part, a lot of people may not really care about it, but it's going to be the process on the monthly card C, essentially the one that is equivalent to the exact currency, so you don't actually have to end up buying some random rainbow pack just to have leftover rainbow cards. So they're essentially going to be making this one, but we expect to have it fully implemented within the next month or two. So it looks like they're still kind of behind on that one, but we need some time to ensure it causes no problems when it debuts. So if you guys are looking for that monthly card, it looks like it's going to be in the next month or two, which is kind of unfortunate. I was really kind of hoping for a lot of people, especially if they start ramping up the different units and stuff like that, that they would have access to this a little quickly. But, you know, I definitely understand that they want to get it right. So hopefully it is right when it actually comes out. The next part here is just talking about the translations of grammar, typos, and stuff like that for the Frozen Darkness. And it looks like they're just trying to get a good idea of what the feedback looks like and just searching into what everybody's been kind of saying about typos, grammar, you know, stuff that can be vague, and kind of going over paraphrasing and kind of seeing where they can kind of change it. They're also talking about UI fonts such as buttons, menus, and such. Maybe use abbreviations or shortened translations to make sure that they fit within the limited space provided. English is a much less dense written language than Chinese, so this is an unavoidable issue. So essentially they're just saying like, hey, English uses some weird words, sometimes are a lot longer, and that is kind of the reason for that. So hopefully they're able to kind of get behind that as well, because I know grammar mistakes and typos really can ruin somebody's immersion, especially when it comes to jumping into an event. So let's go ahead and talk about the last thing here. It's going to be here with the delays and lag. So I've had a lot of people actually telling me, like, when they go into co-op, it's just like, it's not really unplayable, but it's very annoying to have to essentially dodge 3 seconds before you think that you have to dodge, in anticipation of the lag and stuff like that. So they went ahead and said, yeah, we heard you guys, especially for the co-op missions, not just the Frozen. They do say that the launch of the Frozen Darkness update, but I know that it was before that. So hopefully they understand that it wasn't just in the event. You know, co-op was kind of having issues, especially whenever people were playing on their phones and stuff. So while network conditions may be responsible in some cases, especially in the case of login timeout or other connection area, the hardware that the players may induce lag for anybody connected. In some cases, is an unavoidable issue. As the game grows and gets a little bit more complex, it looks like it's actually going to be a little bit more strain on older hardware beyond its limits. Still, the development team is working hard on optimizing scenes, stuff like that. So this one's basically just going over the fact that, hey, we understand that there's network issues. There's going to be some things that they're trying to do as much as they kind of can with the networks and stuff like that. But I also just wanted to keep in mind that as the game gets bigger and bigger, it will be harder to kind of run on older software or hardware there. So unfortunately, it looks like if it gets too big, you might end up having to go to emulators if you have kind of a older phone or something like that. So hopefully it's able to kind of help out. All right, guys, so this last thing here is just going to be a teaser, actually. So it looks like they're actually giving us a little bit of a glimpse of a whole new memory that is actually just for the global server. It'll be free to everyone when it rolls out, but beyond that, we're keeping it hush. Okay. I can't necessarily tell what it is. I'm guessing it's a whole different character that we're probably not even familiar with, but that's kind of cool in some regards. I think a lot of people may be a little bit upset with this a little bit, because if you play JP or something like that, this could seem kind of unfair that, you know, you get a whole different memory just for a certain server, but it is kind of cool that they're rolling it out for free, essentially. I don't know if they're going to give us like multiple dupes for free. How does that really work? Or we're just going to get one copy of it for free for a certain slot. I'm not necessarily sure, but overall, that's just kind of what they wanted to talk about is, hey, the skin is going to be coming. They are kind of working for the network issues and stuff like that and going over grammar. And we're getting a little bit of a glimpse of a new memory that is exclusive essentially to global server. And then we're going to be getting it for free. What free really means, I don't necessarily know. Like I said, I don't know if it's one slot, a couple slots, or whatever. I'm guessing we're going to get more information as that goes into progression. So anyway, guys, I will see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.